I think if Sivir plays this matchup correctly, Vayne shouldn't be able to get prio very easily.
Oh my god, I'm cringing.
Rel goes for the Leona, which actually ends up being a really good trade for them. And Vayne can't really like match damage early game. And what you see right there, that's like pretty interesting. Leona instantly recalls, and the big reason why that's okay, and this isn't anything to do with like if it was the AD carry, it'd be a bit worse. But even then, when you take a really bad trade that takes you all the way to like super low, and the enemy team has level 2 prio, they have to shove the wave in, and depending on where the wave is at, usually most people slow push it. So like the support is actually allowed to recall there.
Lucky he missed some too.
And so it doesn't matter as much.
That level 1 base.
He's gonna still probably get there in time. And it's not that bad.
Please. Yes. No. Yes. Please. No. Please. Fuck my life.
That is some masterclass last sitting at tower. This is a masterclass last hitting clinic.
Dude, I got unlucky.
And you see him auto
That's all there is to say.
for free there.
Never lucky.
And I don't know if I should have sound on or not. Good morning, Mystery.
Okay, whatever. I'm -5. It doesn't matter. No way he cheater recalled, did he? I don't even care. That's the funny thing. I literally do not care that he based and he got a fucking long sword. He missed XP for it.
Yeah, usually when people cheater recall, you just want to slow push back into them.
Die. Yes.
It denies them a bit of EXP, and not only that, it's hard for them to do anything in like retaliation. Like you don't like the game isn't like over if people cheater recall on you, because if they like try to freeze it when it comes back to them, yeah, they go to sleep. Don't worry, Sneaky. They can't freeze it without taking like way too much damage because the wave is going to be stacked. So whenever someone cheater recalls, just recognize that like they might have like a gold advantage.
I'm never lucky.
But the game isn't like necessarily over by any means.
Actually, here's the problem, guys. I'm too fucking sleepy.
So like, this is kind of interesting. But you see what he's doing here? I guess this is like the first thing we can note about like AD carries. He doesn't have that much work to do on this wave. Like he obviously is going to have to prep his CS. But pressuring Sivir and Rel off the tower from getting plates is probably more important. So whenever he isn't required to last hit, you see him actually trading at tower and like getting autos off, preventing them from like getting free hits on tower. The thing is though, in the Sivir matchup, it's like actually like hard to do that very well because Sivir has like just so much random damage that it's pretty hard to avoid. But
dude,
yeah, I think like when you're especially if you're
bad every time
in a Sivir matchup and you're at tower, you can just focus on last hitting. That should be like your main priority. Like whenever you're in these matchups that are like forcing you to farm at tower, just keeping your HP bar like decently high and last hitting well is like super important.
We can go.
He's probably feeling confident about the all-in. Well, one, they're junglers here. He has a level up in Sivir's and all of Vayne's damage is non-spell shieldable. Really good trade. Wonder what he's gonna do with the wave. Vayne's like not that good at hard shoving. Sivir keeps shoving the wave back. If I saw Sivir doing this, I feel like I'd want to fight her. I'd be like, yo, like,
random kill.
I'd be like, Sivir shouldn't be allowed to hit the wave when she's so slow. Nice. And this is just like a Vayne thing. He's getting like 3 autos with PTA off. It's really nice. Huge. I like that. That's like
Couple flashes, right?
I think a lot of engage supports don't do this enough where like they don't punish the other engage support because they're like tanky. Hey Pharaohs. Yeah, I like what he's doing here. This is what I would want to do here. So like right here, this is like a nice situation to keep the wave in because the wave is in the middle of the lane in this area where like if they try to get back into the lane, they're too low to actually fight you. So by standing up on the wave, because you have some advantage and like HP advantage, you make it really hard for your opponent's last hit. So it's either gonna slow shove because they're last hitting and then they miss EXP, or they like try to get back to the wave and you punish them for trying to get to the wave.
Fuck, it's pink worded.
And see how this sets up better for a gank too? It's hard to get anything off of it, but overall it's still like they have prio. I think they win this. I think they win this. Do they not? Wow. I think that Gragas griefed that really hard. That's like such a grief by Gragas because like if nothing happens there, their lane is really like in a good spot. But because Gragas goes head to head with an Olaf who 100% beats him, it puts his bot lane in an awkward situation where having the wave like that is like no longer advantageous because it makes it harder to rotate because the wave isn't shoved out. So that jungler is kind of a troll. It's like interesting. I think one thing I have trouble with when I play these matchups, like especially against the Sivir, is like, how do you get a good back timing? So like he just recalls on this wave. Is it a cannon wave next? It is. Okay, so that's just solid. I like that. That's like something I don't do this enough. Let's talk about that. Okay, so this is like something I should do this more. I don't do this enough, but this is what high elo players do. So what they'll do is they're gonna shove out the wave before the cannon wave, and when the cannon wave is right here, coming back to lane, this is like a good recall timing. So also good morning, Rice. So what this does for you is pretty much it makes it so like if your opponent shoved the lane out, you're gonna come right back as the cannon minion's dying, meaning that you're gonna miss very little for it. And so like what you can do to make this happen is you just have to count the waves, and you just have to be like, this is the first wave, second wave, third wave. And so right as you clear the second wave, you instantly start your recall, so you're back for the third wave. I don't know what I would call that. I'm sure there's like a technical definition, but it'd be like I would say shoving out second wave to recall for third wave at 8:20. I'm adding timestamps, so like if we ever go back and look at it, you guys can see it. Thanks for the follow, Nuke. Yeah, so he instantly recalls, and so like if Sivir shoves out, he should be able to make it in time. Buff, thanks for the follow as well. Definitely want to get a Nuke over here. Gets Pickaxe as well. Yeah. I definitely think like getting flat AD is like just generally like what most AD carries do. And then if you're snowballing, you go tier 2s. But in this situation, I think just having flat AD to win all-ins is like what he wants. So you could say like...
This guy's so rich. He has 2 kills and a plate up. He's a very big boy. Oh no, I missed the cannon.
Do I do this? I'm trying to do it every morning so I can get better. At the start of stream.
Could solo kill him actually.
And yeah, he goes right back to slow shoving.
I'll have to try. Rel's coming.
The thing about slow shoving into a lane like Sivir is that AD carries that don't have wave clear that can match Sivir, which is like very few champions, don't actually often get to dictate how the wave goes unless they're stronger than their opponents, in which case the threat of like being able to fight them is what like is scary and allows you to control the wave. But see how there's no point, like slow shoving doesn't create pressure against the Sivir because she just wave clears it instantly. And like you notice Doublelift was saying here, he's like he needs to go for a solo kill, or like he feels like he needs to get a kill on the Sivir to control the lane.
Okay. Running? Yeah.
Okay. That's sick. Okay, that's really sick. That is like, a lot of people say AD carries don't have agency, but that fight is like sick. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is when there's like good players will create good situations for themselves. So Doublelift starts the fight the moment the wave crashes in, and this baits his opponents into actually taking this fight. And we can't see it because there's a map cover, but I think we can assume that Leona and Gragas are on the way. And if he sets this fight up and like makes them overcommit, it ends up being really good and they get the shutdown on Sivir. So we can't see where Greg and Leo are here, right? But in reality, like the reason why this works is because this is like kind of ridiculous. If anyone does this to you, like your first gut reaction is like, this is illegal. Like you're like, yo, you can't do this. Like you're not allowed to do that. And so like the moment this happens, they feel inclined to fight. Grog says he's on the way. So Vayne just takes a terrible trade. He takes a terrible trade that's going to get them low, and he gets a head-to-head with Sivir, which means that Sivir's still going to be low, and other champions in the early game do enough damage to clear it out. So like, I'd say, now we're looking over Doublelift's VOD so we can learn a thing or two from him. And Aphelios does fall off late game sometimes.
Okay. Running?
Thanks for the follow.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna have to like start including Twitch chat in future VOD reviews, so like when I upload it to YouTube, people won't just be like, why is this guy talking to himself? But yeah, see how he baits out that fight? Like, it's super awkward, it's into the wave. Works really well though. Ooh! That's his bad. Well, when you're playing at a higher level, you have to assume your opponents are gonna flash on you every time. Gragas played that well, big. But like, good job, you have to assume that your opponents are gonna flash on you if you're in flash range. Like that should be already assumed, and so like he should buffer his tumble, assuming that they're gonna flash on him. It's hard though, because if they don't do it, you look like an idiot. But if you do it, you look like a god. And you notice he always looks at what his teammates are doing whenever he's walking back to lane.
Upset.
Hey, Bashi. Hey, see ya.
Damn. I'm gonna get shit on under turret here.
Yeah, not much he can do here. He should just leave. And noobs don't do this enough, so I'm just gonna talk about it. You have no flash, you have no way to outplay. Rel is extremely hard to outplay already, and your support's not there. You leave the tower. And this matchup is all about finding moments where you can get kills. Because Sivir is scared of you 1v1. Hey, afternoon. We are definitely on learning mode, Pesci.
Kill them. I've been spacing now. Yeah, can't do much.
I want to hear what he just said.
It can move, then we can kill them.
Yeah, he wants mid to move to kill them.
Spacing now. Yeah, can't do much.
Yeah, he's always looking for a fight on Vayne.
Until
Makes sense. Because, like, Vayne's a character you want to make stuff happen. Like, you want fights to happen. Because that's where your character shines.
I don't mind when my support roams, but sometimes he's roaming and I'm losing a lot and we're not getting anything on the other side. Like, we're not even getting pressure to help bot, you know? Because normally what happens is you help mid and mid helps bot.
And then mid helps bot, yeah. I think that's also a concept that,
really
in solo queue, like,
what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. And that's why, as an AD carry, whenever your support leaves you, you're just supposed to let it happen and you don't die. And the reason why is because the way map pressure works is if your teammates get pressure, it bounces back to you. Ideally. Sometimes your supports suck and they roam and nothing happens and it's like super frustrating. But it's still better odds than you trying to outplay a Rel under tower without flash. I like that. And this is just like basic League of Legends 101. When in doubt, just hit the target closest to you. Like, obviously hit the rel there. Even if she's tanky, you just hit the rel there. Nice tumble. Huge. They play that pretty well. Nothing like special happened here though. Nice. Wait. Hold on. Did he just flash or am I like seeing things? Oh, that's his heal. Okay, I was like,
ooh,
what?
Seems to be a little bit tilted.
Definitely Kraken Slayer. I think he goes PD here, right?
A little bit.
I'm no Vayne expert on items, but it's a pretty long laning phase as well, which is surprising because usually I think like Sivir can take first tower and just like rotate mid, and then like Sivir's game plan should be take tower, rotate mid, perma-shove mid, open up the map. We're using a Visual Studio Code, and I lowered the opacity on OBS thanks to Hi-Ho-Berry with the clutch OBS settings advice. So now he's stronger than 1v1 and he can just pop anybody on the map, which is like really important to know. The problem is like even when you're stronger, you still should like, you can't just YOLO the fights completely. Like there should be like at least some reason.
This is basically what's supposed to happen, right? Like bot lane, if you're winning, your support helps the other lanes, and the other lanes then just keep helping bot lane. It's like a nice back and forth situation. That's what you really want to happen.
Yeah, and that's why games feel really hard. Like that's why it's frustrating to play AD carry sometimes when people don't acknowledge the fact that like your map is losing, and so like the enemy team has way more pressure on you despite everything. Wow, I love that. That's so good. And that's exactly like that's like really interesting for like this fight right here is really interesting for a lot of reasons, and we'll talk about it, but this is more about I'll call this post laning. Okay, that fight there is like really interesting because of what those champions want and like how it happens. Okay, So what we see here is, okay, let's see. Vayne wants to get a 1v1. On the Sivir in particular. It's like so ideal. Sivir has a terrible, terrible 1v1 matchup to Vayne, and her spell shield is useless. Vayne will absolutely run Sivir. Sivir wants to shove mid as fast as possible and open up the map by wave clearing. So it's, can Sivir shove the wave or can Vayne pressure Sivir off the wave, right? And so Sivir paths really greedily to this fight, and her support isn't there either. So I'm not too sure who you want to blame for this, but either way, he goes for the fight before any of this happens, and it opens up the game because he's like pushing Vayne as a character to like the max. So it's like, I would say like he goes for 1v1 versus Sivir. Like, I can't type. Nice. And notice he has target champions only on. That's kind of why I hate playing Vayne. She's only auto attacking, so I misclick minions sometimes. So I don't like doing toggle champions only.
The hardest play to make.
This fight's really hard. I don't like this fight. It's too like over committing into melees. Yeah. Hey Krona, what's up? This fight's actually really important, and I think a lot of new baited carries get baited here. So we'll talk about the second part of the fight. Okay. So look at Leona and Gragas. And so melee champions need to fight melee. He has no sums, he has no outplay. Meaning if he doesn't play fight slow, he loses. So if he follows up right away on this Leona, like imagine he moves forward here instead of backwards. This puts him in range for Olaf to just go fucking ham on him and Gnar to get an ult on him. So instead he hovers outside where like they have to come out towards him and get a better fight. So it's like, you just have to be smart about what fights you commit to. And like, when you're feeling like super insecure and you're like, oh my god, I need to like join the fight, that's exactly when you follow up on those fights and you lose the game. And because everyone's topside, he sneaks to the enemy jungle camp.
Oh my god, I can't click the right Wraith, dude.
Which is like classic high elo gameplay. You just take whatever value you can get on the other side of the map.
My mid turret's just dead here, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Vayne can't really hold towers.
Save my mid turret, boys. Okay, thank god they didn't want to go for it.
And the reason why is without ulti and flash, Vayne has a lot less 1v1 pressure, which means it's a lot easier for Sivir to pressure towers. But they probably didn't have enough information on the map, or like after losing that one fight, they're like, holy, like we can't fight anymore.
Under mid turret. This is why Sivir's so broken. Like she doesn't need to interact with you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let up Echo.
If Sivir doesn't interact with you, that's probably an easy win for her. Always up to me to like do something to stop her from.
Yeah, and he talks about it right here, right, where it's like, it's up to the AD carry that's not Sivir to find an opening, because Sivir can win the game PvE.
Oh, fucking sick.
This Sivir's kind of bad though. Sivir should never die randomly. I mean, AD carry shouldn't die randomly, but like Sivir especially.
I cover you.
This is just like,
oh wow, it's up.
AD carry macro. You shove out mid.
Going top.
I don't think TP Phillies is very good.
What the hell? Well, everything I say is just immediately wrong right after. I could have stayed. I probably should have stayed to help him. I think I'm just gonna go. I want him to stay bot one more.
And now he has mid prio because Sivir has messed up enough times that now Vayne's 1v1 is just so much more threatening that Sivir now has to just catch waves instead of shoving waves.
Fucking dead unless someone can TP to save him. I guess Gnar could TP.
And notice how he shoves mid, he instantly moves. Bad condemn. Let Leo tank. Really nice.
Why am I always taking aggro?
Right?
Good job by our mid to like.
I think press the attack of Phallus is really good. I would not take Ignite.
Oh no, I'm trolling, guys.
I'm surprised.
They do it pretty fast with Gnar. Oh shit.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like I think their dive took longer than they needed to. So the enemy team gets Baron for free here, actually. But, like, I'm surprised Gragas and Fizz couldn't zone control because they were pretty strong.
Just take their camps and top. It's fine. It's okay to take their camps.
Yeah, and this is, like, the classic. Anytime your enemy team takes Baron, take their jungle camps. That's the least you can do.
Why not Vayne with Rage Blade? Because that is fucking awful. By Rage Blade on Vayne, you're trolling.
I'm learning.
Oh.
It's, dude, whenever I watch good players play League, I just want to play League and be like, I could do that too. It never goes as well, but that's like when I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, now it's my turn.
So fast. I think we needed to burn Fizz ulti like right away.
Yeah, Fizz should have just commit to the one shot, and that's something like at higher levels. If your team's committing to a kill, if you can one shot one person, you get a lot of value in a fight. Killing like one person in a fight and then playing the fight after is a lot easier than
wow, this guy's a fucking
not full
man.
sending it.
What the fuck?
And then letting them like live and still having it be a 5v5, because then one more person alive is still hard. This play, if you're not Vayne, this play is a little bit harder to make. His team's kind of trolling. His team should have been there 100%, but he also ulted pretty early.
No. Why did everyone just bait?
Yeah, his team should have been there. Olaf no ult. He should be like one-shottable. Oh!
Fuck this game, I'm dead.
Whew.
Wait, I'm alive.
Interesting. He had flash there. He should have flashed earlier. Also, hey Anna.
My entire team was mid, and instead of helping me kill the Gnar and the side, they just reset.
Yeah, that's pretty troll. I think every time he should still rotate the side there. Like, I think that play is still good. I think he should have pinged his teammates, but I think that play is like not bad. I didn't get the exact timestamp for it. 22:30. Yeah, 22:30. Like, killing overextended.
That was so troll. But it's okay, because we're actually going to be there for drag, which is nice. Yeah, we're going to be there for drag.
I feel like this can still do that. Like, Aphelios with grab is insane for rotating on the side lane.
Yeah, that was
Obviously with
really,
teammates it's better.
really weird.
But like if you had red white, you could also go for that. Like a red white into green white would melt Gnar. This is weird. Just finishes the drag. I like that. The most important thing.
Gotta leave him.
So like that fight. Vayne is insane at kiting melees. Kiting melees. So if you use the objective as a means to like bring them into you, it's really good. His team like diving in there actually makes it a bit harder for him to play the fight, especially without flash. But if it's like melees running into Vayne who has ulti, then it's a lot easier. I think if his team played that fight slower, he was down for it. But either way, like rushing for the objective is not bad there because you get value from like just getting the objective itself, and that's like mainly what you're playing for. And you just notice he's farming like everything. He's getting as much gold as he can at all times. He's just farming up for IE now. He probably doesn't want a fight unless it's really good because he doesn't have flash to them IE.
Leo's dead.
Leo's dead, yeah. Let's see. I like this thought process. And this is something I think like this looks so like mundane, doesn't really matter. But he like processes information, makes a decision. Leo's dead. I shove mid. Shoving mid is really good because it makes it so the enemy team can't pressure as hard because they're all congregated bot lane. Only person who can rotate is like Silas, I think. So it makes it so they can't pressure mid lane and he gets solely XP and farm, right? So it's like... Probably Texture Scuttle on top camps. Because there's nothing they can do there. 4v5, you can't do anything there. Now he can clear this wave, recall, have IE. He fights. He's strong AF.
Or my nice. Should hit this thing. Okay, nice. Sivir didn't base yet.
Now they 5-5
Sivir
with this
bases
flash.
now, we can rush.
Interesting. Paying attention to enemy recall timings too. Ooh, they're doing it. This looks like a game-winning fight from Double. Like if I'm him, I think I'm gonna win the game here. My team just needs to go in.
We stole it.
GG.
Got it.
You see how methodical that is? Like enemy back timings, forcing fights on your power spike.
Nice play by the boys. I think I'm waking up. Sorry, I was like so tired. I don't know why I was so tired. I literally was like feeling so good, and then I turned on my stream and it just like fucking, I was falling asleep. Now I'm actually feeling good.
I don't know if he wins the game exactly here, but like that fight is like the fight that most likely decides the game. It's really hard for them to come back into it. Sivir has good wave clear, but their team comp isn't that great into Vayne.
That's one thing I really hate about playing against Rel, dude. Like her ults, her flash RW is, I don't know if you guys remember like old Rakan. Basically, you could not react. Like even if you had like the reaction time of God, you had to predict it. You basically had to like see the way they were moving,
Hey, this guy.
and use your defensive ability
Solid,
before
thanks
it
for
hits.
follow.
Always really hated that.
Yeah, I kind of agree with him on that. Rel ult feels really deceiving too. Like, you
I
get
should have bought a red
CC'd.
pot, man. It's a little too late now. Oh, my team's fighting without me. No, 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 no. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Oh, yes!
You see how many times the server's gotten cut out this game?
You are so boosted, dude. Holy shit. Oh my god, uninstall right now. Holy shit, that was so bad.
The server's gotten got so much.
Thank you for Infernal Soul, guys. I really appreciate that. That's super nice.
I just want to play League right now. Oh, he's kind of trolling. This is just like an ego fight, which is like fine because it helps on the game. End.
Oh, please, yes.
Nice. Pretty clean game. Pretty